basically in our food, what we do is food from the Mughal era, which is and food what we get to eat in Delhi. A bit of Rampur because it's nearby Delhi and we belong to Rampur. So our food has influences of Mughlai cuisine, of Nawabs of Rampur and Delhi. Some part from Afghan region as well, as my wife is a Pathan, so we got that Afghani cuisine into our food as well. Plus all the Delhi chefs, because we have learned from Khan Samas, and these Khan Samas worked with the Mughals in their royal courts. So we have got those recipes, learned from them. It's a bit of that Mughlai what we do. Mughlai is basically very different when it comes to flavors, textures. It's quite robust, it's quite rough, not that fine what people relate to Awadh and Lucknow. The meat textures are not that tender, it's a bit greasy. So that's the difference of Delhi North food, Mughlai food, and when it comes to the food of Nawabs and Awadh. My father was a doctor and we had our house right opposite to Kareem Hotel, and my father was the only doctor in that vicinity. So after all the restaurants were closed, all these Khan Samas and Bawarchis, they used to come to my father for medicine. Now if you get your doctor gives you a medicine and you are blessed, you will return him with some sweets, some chocolate, something or the other. What would a Khan Sama do? He will return, come back to you with a korma, with a biryani. So all those Delhi food were quite frequent and they used to come to our place. So my mother noticed a difference in the flavors of Delhi food and Rampur. So she asked the Khan Samas, how do you make them? Now these Khan Samas are very reluctant and very rigid. They guard their recipes, they never tell. But doctor is treated like a god, and doctor's wife asking, they couldn't deny and they shared. My mother father improvised, and that's what we do today. It's a home cooked food, but we try to offer a global audience in a 5-star and serve whatever we eat at home. My mother, basically, she's a very cool and warm-hearted lady. So her cooking style is also very different. Mother treats a dish like a baby. The way she cooks, it's very, if you watch it, you will be noticing the warmth and love towards cooking when she cooks. So I guess that makes the difference. When I was married, my wife knew nothing. So my father was very happy. बोले slate कोरी है, अब लिखने में आसानी होगी. So she got trained, and she said after a week of marriage that I think I've been married into a hotel because there are so many guests and a lot of work in kitchen. It seems that always there is bulk cooking going on. So and I thought if after my mother, who would carry on this legacy? So my wife got trained, and my mother is not an easy person. She never tells her recipes, but I was fortunate enough we got the recipes. Three of us have different roles. My wife is into a lot of research. So in Old Delhi, they are women basically who cook. So you don't have access because of Parda system. I couldn't go, being a journalist also. If I asked, they will not allow me to enter. But my wife could go easily. She discussed, she got the recipes, she came home, we went to libraries. So all these research work is done by my wife. After the research, we give the recipes to my mother. She creates those dishes. I, being a critic, play my role, say this is the flavor, this is fine, this needs some improvement. So it's a combination, three of us, and we try to do whatever we can do. We do a nahari, which is one of the most popular ones in Delhi. But now nahari basically is a dish to be had early in the morning. Nahar is the time of sunrise, and I have fond memories. My father used to send me with a bucket at 4 o'clock in the morning to get a nahari. But now time has changed and the nahari are served throughout the day. So we make nahari, which is a typical Old Delhi dish. We do a aloo gosht, which is a typical household dish. We do a lot of vegetables with meat, like saag gosht, we do gobi gosht, we do arvi gosht. There are a lot of such combinations which are quite home cooked food. So masalas plays a very major role. So in our food as well, we source our masalas from old Khari Baoli, that's the biggest spice market in Asia. So my mother always takes care कि खाना तासीर के हिसाब से बने. तो अगर if you are using a lot of red meat, we put such ingredients that it balances its properties. So some of these spices like kebab-e-khanda, khas ki jad, pan ki jad, we use in our food, which makes the heaviness which cuts the heaviness of the food, makes it much lighter and healthier. I started as a food writer. I started reviewing restaurants, did more than 2000 reviews, so got into a lot of eating. One day a blogger said, "Sir, we want to do a food walk with you." And we hosted a food walk in Jama Masjid. Post that, a couple of hotels started approaching me to do food festivals. They said, "We have heard a lot about your mother." So my mother and I curated first festival at Surya Hotel in Delhi called Shahjahanabad Ki Sair. And for the first time, all these critics were exposed to home cooked food of Delhi. Normally what they get to eat is the street food of Delhi. So that's how we entered hotels, and now we just curate festivals at different properties. Oberoi Group taking an initiative to revive Indian recipes under the banner called Revayat. So we were part of it. We were asked to do trained chefs. So we went for that conclave, and now we are doing promotions in all other properties. While I was writing, I noticed now a lot of Indian restaurants are moving towards modern Indian cuisine, progressive Indian cuisine, molecular gastronomy. Chutneys are transformed into foams and all. So I thought that why shouldn't we work towards retaining our own traditional cuisine? So I formed a group on Facebook called Lost Recipes of India, and from that initiative, I started documenting recipes. So for me, it is sharing of recipes. My mother said, "Agar tum apni recipes, if you will tell your recipes to other, and if you train, you will not get for the more festivals, because they will learn themselves and they will cook it." Like, Ammi, if I am working towards reviving Indian dishes, and the problem is that our Indian food is not being documented because Khansamas never shared. If you will do the same thing, again, it's a dead end. We will not be able to document or revive Indian food. And I firmly believe that we should share recipes so that our food is revived, our food and recipe doesn't get lost. So we love sharing. So now my mother is also open to sharing, and now we'll do training sessions and master classes. And ilm baatne se badhta hai, and this is also ilm. So we need to share our recipes and techniques.